What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to Rise and Grind. I hope you had a rested and recharged weekend. Meg, we had a lot of good stuff on the topic today. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was recharging.
Yeah, good. We had a good weekend, good sun over here on the East Coast over here, Jersey, New York, Tri-State, so it was a good weekend. One thing that I want to dive right into immediately is just people are freaking out right now about generative AI search.
Yeah.
It's a big topic and everyone's scrambling like, what is that going to mean for my search engine optimization? And here's the important things you need to know. Number one, you have to realize that, again, generative search versus normal search. Because what Google essentially is saying is that when you're searching, what's the best pizzeria in town? It's not going to be implementing generative search and giving you AI to answer that, right? That's where they believe that that is going to win still with the current structure of this local listings, right? So local SEO, the maps, the directories, the important things that are still important right now. Where they're saying that generative AI will come into play is if you say something like, hey, my baby is, has a fever. What should I do, right? It's going to give you a couple different things that it's recommending based on things with some links to certain businesses, right? And now the question is, how do I get my business to be in generative search? And the key and the core here, the one thing that I love about Google and I love about SEO is that as much as it's evolved, it's really never changed. The core foundation of how you rank is still pretty similar to what it's always been when you really think about it, right? There's more complexities, but the core of it is you have to create really great content. You have to create really great blogs on your website. You have to create rich SEO content that shows Google from day one. You've always had to show Google that you're a resource.
Right.
Now, you have to make more content. Now, you have to make better content. But the point, though, is the fundamentals of it is create content that would answer the questions that you think your searchers are going to ask. If you think your searchers, if you're a bagel spot, and you think your potential customers are going to go on Google and say, the best lox bagels around here, or the best blueberry bagel, I don't know. Where can I find the best blueberry bagel? Create content about where can I find the best blueberry bagel in Point Pleasant, right? You have to match, because when Google is searching, they're seeing things, it has to answer a question, but backing it with a really credible resource that has a lot of information. And so if you have those questions and those what they call queries, all in your content, in your blogs, all over your site, and you're answering questions, right? And you have backed content to support those questions and answers, you are going to be available, right? Which Google is going to say, these people are legit. I'm going to put this at the top. So again, bearing this in mind that, again, Google's job is to find one thing, the most credible resource for the searcher. That has always been their job. They've just gotten better and better at it, harder and harder for competitors and business owners and things like that to get ranking, because look how many people are trying to rank.
Right.
When you think about how many millions and millions and millions of people want that page one Google spot, they have to come up with all these different things because not everybody can be page one. So it gets more difficult, but going back to what I said, keep it simple with the mindset of if you have really great content and you create a lot of content and you make sure your site is properly SEO'd and you make sure that you're answering the questions that you think your customers would be asking on Google and creating videos on it on YouTube and things like that, you are going to be able to be ranking in generative AI. So again, SEO is not, for people who haven't done it or don't understand it, most people think that search engine is just oh, okay, cool, I'm gonna start doing this and then it's gonna pop up in a week or 2 weeks or 30 days or 2 months.
Doesn't work that
way.
Guys,
it's like the best thing with SEO, it's like planting a tree. Yeah. The best time to do it was 20 years ago, right? Realistically, it takes mother and time, okay? But don't get discouraged. It's important. Most people, I've had so many great conversations with contractors, majority of the businesses that are in the service space, as an example, they rely on Google. Yeah. They really, truly rely on Google because, again, consumers, when they're searching things, what do they want to see? They want to see Google reviews. They want to see that people know who you are and all that good stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
So don't be so worried about generative AI and what it means for your business as long as you stick to the core fundamental of you have to create awesome content on your website.
Yeah, Google actually, a bunch of documents got leaked about their search algorithm, which is really interesting because whenever there's an algorithm change, they'll tell you that the change happened,
Right.
but they won't exactly tell you what to do to meet that algorithm
Correct.
change. And
They want you to just figure it out.
they want you to figure
Yeah.
out, but with these documents that got leaked, I mean, of course, there's so much about the quality of your content and how relevant it is and how credible you are. But now, for the first time, we're seeing that your search ranking also coincides with your brand recognition.
Right.
For the first time ever, they want to make sure that they're recommending credible and recognized brands. So they're saying that as a small business, you should actually not just invest in search, invest in some brand building tools. Launch a social media ad, get
Yeah.
out there in your community, find ways to connect and really build that brand recognition, and that's going to help you on search as well.
Totally. And the one thing I'll say real quickly before we change subjects here
Yeah.
is like when I think about Google reviews, right? We've had so many people recently look at how can I build my business on search or this whole search engine, generative AI, whatever. The key here that I want everybody to just understand is that I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. It's really important that you get yourself and your business and your brand some brand gladiators. What that means, I feel like I said that weird. Gladiators. Am I saying that wrong?
No, you said it right. You said it right.
Sounds weird when I say it though, doesn't it?
Sometimes that happens.
Gladiators.
You say a weird
Gladiators.
word, yeah.
I feel like I sound like Spanish when I say gladiators. Anyway, so okay, good. Maybe it's just in my own head. But you have to get yourself some brand gladiators. There you go.
Yeah.
Because what that means, we developed this, going over 6, 7, 8 years ago, is that you get 5 to 10, hopefully 10 friends, 10 family members, 10 employees, and if you don't have that, obviously as many as you have, and then 10 colleagues that are maybe in synergistic businesses that like you. And essentially what you're asking them to do is you're asking them to turn on post notifications on Instagram, on Facebook. So every time, hey, you're asking them like this, hey, Joe Schmo, every time I post, can you turn on post notifications so that you can like and comment, and if you're feeling crazy, share it to your story. It'd mean the world to me. It's going to help me grow my business. And also, by the way, would you mind just writing me a Google review real quick? Here's the link. It could take 2 seconds. Now, what this is doing is it's turbocharging, number one, you and the algorithms, right? Because if you have, let's just say, all in, you have 50 people who are your brand gladiators that say, hey, yes, you know what, I'm going to do this for you, John. Then, on average, people have 300 to 500 followers on Instagram. You do 500, we'll just go high end there. Let's say 300 times 50. That's a lot of people that you're putting in front of, right? So, and it's free press, right? And so now, every time you post something, if you have that many people engaging, seeing what you're doing, liking, commenting, whatever, now you're going to surf high through the algorithms as opposed to not getting any engagement and Instagram or Meta saying, is this content really valuable?
Right.
So it's helping there. But then on the Google side, it's helping with you building your reviews, which again, number one is it builds trust signals with consumers when they don't know who you are. But secondly, it shows Google that people value you and your product and they're willing to write a review. So brand gladiators is so important for every business. Most people don't take the time to do it, but I'm telling you guys, take the time to invest in building your brand gladiators for your business.
And nowadays, I think it's like 86% of consumers trust their friend's opinion or recommendation over anything else. So brand gladiators is actually a really great way to build trust with people through people you know.
Totally.
It's really easy to do.
The power of the people you know.
Yeah, you don't have to convince anybody. Let your friends convince, their audience for you.
Totally.
All right, next up, Liquid Death is giving away a jet plane. For real, because remember when Pepsi did this way back when?
Yeah, didn't you speak of this last week or 2 weeks ago?
No, I sent you this earlier this week.
Oh,
Maybe that's why you saw it.
Am I going crazy?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. But honestly, did you watch that Netflix thing though?
I did.
With
when
the
it
fake
had
jet?
come out. And so this is what inspired the Liquid Death campaign. Pepsi did this way back when, I think it was in the early 90s.
$400,000 fighter jet.
Yeah, it's a $400,000 fighter jet, or
For the record,
person can have $250,000 cash because
everyone's taking it.
They'll get 6 months of hangar space for the jet, but all other costs, fuel, maintenance, is on the person.
I do want to say one thing. Oddly enough, real quick, I'm scared about if somebody decides to take that jet, I'm terrified. Because recently I was having a conversation with somebody, because I live by that private jet airport.
Yeah.
And I was talking to one of my friends who has their pilot license, and I was like, I want to get my pilot license. And as I'm having this conversation with him, he's like, oh yeah, he goes, like, look, he started showing me just some different planes and stuff. And even a used, like, 1990 private jet goes for like 1.5 million. So the fact that this is a $400,000 jet makes me say, well, I mean, I don't know what kind of jet it is, right? I don't know what kind of jet, but
It's an Aero, I don't know anything about jets, but it's an Aero L39C Albatross, named
All right,
the Dehydrator.
Let's pop this up here. Let's pop this up here. Let's get a picture of this real quick. What do you guys think of this thing? Can you pop it up here?
You know what's crazy though? So how it works is each in-store purchase gives you an entry, right? So like you could just be a random person who all of a sudden has a fighter jet.
Let's see.
This is it.
Liquid Death.
That's the plane.
Wow.
You know, and it's interesting because it has Liquid Death all over it. And
hold on, but can you copy this and paste that? I just want to see how much that plane goes for by itself. Because what I'm wondering, I wonder if it's like the CEO's like jet. But you know what though? I get. Oh, actually, it's a one person or two people jet.
It's a two-person. It's a fighter jet. It's like what they have.
Yeah. So let's see.
It's like what the Air Force trains in. I'm pretty sure. Again, I am not.
Go scroll down real quick. We're popping this up on the screen though too. I just want to see. Put cost. Wow. Okay. Yeah, wow. So they're giving me 5 extra K.
Maybe because it's not a luxury like private jet plane. You know, it's a fighter jet. You know, you're getting in there and you're going where you have to go. But it is branded with Liquid Death all over it, which is really smart as well. And it actually reminds me of one of our team members, Ryan. He actually just won a contest.
Won a freaking car. Jeez Louise.
Which
Shout out
is like
to Ryan.
Kind of a similar concept. They didn't give away a whole jet, but they gave away a car, which he's really excited about. But it's branded all over with, you know, their logo, this, that, the other. And Ryan's like, you know, I'm excited for the car. Do I want to be driving around a car with this much stuff on it?
But this is different though. You're in the plane. You're in the sky. Nobody sees you. But I'm sure you do the same thing though. Like a year later, you just fucking paint
remove it. Yeah.
The person who's gonna win this is gonna be the randomest mother effer that's taking the cash.
Yeah.
There's no way this person. I mean, unless they could resell it and So
I don't know. I think I would. Would you take the jet or would you take the cash?
I would take the jet.
I would take the jet too.
Yeah, because worst case, you just sell the jet.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, or charter it out, and you'll probably make more money.
But think about this. That's a really cool giveaway, and also like on that topic, like actually, I'm not even gonna take this from you. Finish what you're saying.
No, I mean that's really it. It's just an interesting concept. It was inspired by Pepsi's giveaway, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, a jet is big. It's gonna get a lot of attention. Liquid Death has been getting a lot of attention over the years, though. Like they keep coming up with just really interesting marketing stunts that get a ton of attention for a short amount of time. That I think helps prolong their sales for a bit, and then they come up with a new concept that shakes things up.
But what cracks me up in a way is, and like I respect the living shit out of the brand for, is that like the person who invented it, I'm pretty sure was sober. I was sick of being at the bar or the club and like just holding a water, right? And so he wanted a cool can to drink water out of, like so he felt like included. And I feel like that story is so sick because obviously look where they are now, like they blew up.
Yeah.
And people who are not sober like still drink it. But what blows my mind is this just goes to show you that a brand with a mission like that initially, and as a brand, somebody who's investing in building a brand like this, like who, like I would personally, it's just me. Nothing about water in a can does anything for me. I'm just saying, like, I was never like, yo, I want to go get water in a damn can.
Me neither.
Like, so like, I've only bought Liquid Death one time, and it was at a PNC Bank Art Center.
Me too. That's exactly where I had it too.
Yeah. I was at a concert, and I wanted water, and they gave me a Liquid Death, and I was like, okay, like, and so I'm just saying, like, but like that just goes to show you, like. You know, and I actually saw this thing the other day too. Speaking of brand stuff, I know it's a topic you have. Is like, you know, there's this website. I don't know. I have to re-find it again, but it was on TikTok. This lady showed a website that you put in a link to any product, and then you put it on this. You put the URL of it in the website, and it will find you the same exact product, but made from the off-brand, and at like crazy discount, right?
No, I think I saw this. I just can't remember what the platform was.
I'm gonna find it and we'll figure it out and we'll repost it. But literally, as an example, like the person showed a restoration hardware chair, right? This like really modern minimalistic chair that it was like maybe a set, maybe it was like 2 or 3 chairs, but the whole thing was like $4,000, right? For 3 chairs or 4 chairs, whatever. They put in this thing, and literally the same chair, like the fucking same chair, was $110.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
But look at what
the markup
look
of
what
Restoration Hardware because of their brand.
The brand, but look what you can do with a brand like that.
Right.
Look how you can mark up something to that magnitude just by having a brand like that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's crazy.
It is. It's definitely crazy.
So keep that in mind when people talk about they don't want to invest their time or their money on building a brand. Guys, that's the difference between that one company could charge $100 for that same chair. They won't get $1 more because nobody knows who they are. But Restoration Hardware is getting all day and every day on Sunday $4,000 for the same set.
Yeah, just because it's Restoration
That markup
Hardware.
is bananas.
Yeah,
like imagine that markup.
Hardware. This is kind of off topic, but similar. Have you seen Bethany Frankel's post about Chanel lately?
No.
So this past week, she tried going into Chanel in her normal clothes.
Yeah.
She didn't have an appointment, and they didn't let her in. She stood outside. They opened the door this big. She's like, I've purchased from here. I'm
famous.
Hello. Like, yeah, I'm not some
Hello,
Joe Schmo off
famous.
the street. Like, I'm coming here to shop. I'm not coming here to just like browse around. And they were like, and she was wearing just a white t-shirt, jeans. Her hair was in a ponytail. Looks like a normal person.
She was in her Rob swag.
She looked like a normal person.
Quick little bangs.
And they didn't let her in. She went back, dressed head to toe, looking like a Chanel brand.
Yeah.
And didn't have, same situation, just walked, and they were like, yeah, give us 1 second, let her right in.
Wow.
And she's like, it's crazy how brands have this, kind of viewpoint, but when you're a brand of that, imagine turning people away at the door, right? You're trying to sell things, but and you're like, you don't look like my brand, so I'm going to turn you away. That's the brand that they've built for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of brand power in that. I remember
crazy
at Jersey Shore outlets over here. Jersey Shore outlets. During COVID, I remember I was walking just to get out of the house. Me and Jacqueline would go because it's outdoors, walking around out there. And I remember I wanted to go into, at the time Burberry wound up leaving that place, but I went into Burberry, and they were all, because it was COVID, they were only letting a couple people in at a time. But it was that kind of vibe where they were literally they saw the people coming in. I remember I was in the store and they turned somebody away similarly because they were I'm sorry, we're not accepting more people right now, right?
Yeah.
And the person laughed, what? There's people in here? Yeah, I'm sorry, we're not, and whatever. And then the guy came back in and was like, yeah, that person wouldn't have bought anything. Right? And I'm like, yo.
I mean, it's true. During COVID, I bet they could get away with it because they're like, oh, it's capacity, we don't want too many people in the store. Now, it's just judgmental.
Totally.
In my opinion, you can't judge a book by its cover. Also, I feel like some of the world's richest people look like they are your normal person, right?
Totally.
They look sometimes they look homeless even, and you would have no idea. So
story time.
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Story time. When I started Ruby Tuesdays, one of our first clients, it's Eco Global.
Oh,
and, shout out to Ed. But back in the day, this was, again, forever ago, oh my gosh, 07, 08. Literally, this guy's come to the bar every single, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. And long story short, but he worked on cars. So he'd come in and he'd have grease all over his shirt, he had a crew neck on, just did not look like he was crushing it.
Yeah.
Right? It just looked like, oh, he's a normal mechanic.
Yeah.
But to your point, he'd come in all the time. Nobody knew this guy was a secret millionaire.
Yeah.
And this dude,
he's a cool guy.
Yeah, really cool dude, awesome guy. But anyway, so don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
All right, I have one more topic.
Let's do it.
And we're done. And this is going to be quick. Google is removing their chat option and their call history from Google Business Profile.
Shocker.
So, yeah, shocker. They're just continuing to remove things. So, over the past week, we've had a lot of different clients and brands reach out to us saying, what do I do? Is this something I should be concerned about? And our recommendation is if you want to continue to track your calls through Google Business Profile, use something like CallRail where you have a specific forwarding number for these different platforms so you can track who's calling you from what platform. And then on the chat side, okay, they're not able to chat you from, directly from your Google Business Profile now, maybe you should add some sort of chat option to your website. Make sure that people know that they can DM you on social platforms. Make sure that if one area is being pulled away of communication, that you're amping up all the other areas of communication so people know you're still there to chat.
Yeah, it's important.
It's important.
Yeah.
And that's that.
That's that. Guys, happy Monday. I hope you crush the week ahead. It's wild that we're literally halfway through the year.
I know.
That's at
crazy.
The MoFo 6-month mark.
Oh my God, my stomach just dropped a little bit.
Yeah, the
That's
6-month mark of 2024. We have 6 months left to crush the goals that you're after in your brand, your business, your life, and I hope you are getting after it. Happy Monday, guys. We'll see you next time. Every Monday, 9 a.m. We'll be right here on YouTube, LinkedIn, X, Meta, all of them. We'll see you soon.